Buenas, ¿qué tal? Estamos de aquí otra vez. ¿Qué tal, Pablo? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, se van a cansar de vernos esta semana, ¿eh?
Sí, 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 se van a cansar bastante, ¿eh? Pues tenemos más novedades. Hoy tenemos otro invitado que va a estar con nosotros para hablar otra vez del tema, ¿no, Pablo?
Sí, bueno, hablar de la nueva iniciativa, vamos a tener a un directivo, un ejecutivo de los Chicago Bears. Tenemos hoy a Scott Hagel, que es el Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications, que suena bien, ¿no?
Sí, 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 un tío que la toca, seguro, la toca bastante, Pablo, más que nosotros. Oye, me gusta tu jersey corporativo, así me gusta. Em, pues nada, ahora, ahora va a llegar el chico este, también será un chico, ¿no? Somos todos chicos. Para contarnos a ver cómo ven ellos, cómo van a hacer el approach los Chicago Bears, o que, bueno, que nos vaya a contar lo que quiera. Y vamos a tener los pelos para nuestros amigos los mexicanos, ¿no, Pablo? A ver qué nos
Hombre,
cuenta.
sí, por supuesto. Vamos a preguntar un poquito cuál ha sido el motivo que les han llevado a elegir España, que vamos a hablar un poquito que por qué no han escogido también México como otro de sus mercados y que qué van a hacer en español, que si va a haber partido en el Bernabéu, ¿no?
Ujú. Sí, sí, sí. A ver. Y alguna preguntita que también nos habéis dejado por redes, ¿no? Que nos habéis dejado. A ver, que tenemos colarle. Tenemos tiempo limitadísimo porque es día de partido, que pasa que se ha pospuesto su partido, pero bueno, tiene la agenda súper llena, ya nos ha dejado un cuartito de hora en su hueco, o sea que encantados y nada, seguro que va a salir de lujo, o sea que lo esperamos, ¿no?
Eso es, pues nada, os dejamos con la entrevista.
Vale, te dejo a ti, Pablo. Venga, hasta ahora, chao.
Hi, my name is Pablo Carlos.
Hi, I'm Sergi y Today is this special program of Spanish Bowl. It's our pleasure to talk with Scott Hagel, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications of the Chicago Bears. Thank you very much for joining us, Scott.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it's Scott Hagel.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, sorry, we got that wrong. So
Okay.
this week, we learned the details from the International Home Market Area Initiative, and we were very excited to learn that the Chicago Bears, one of the most historic franchises in the history of the NFL, has chosen Spain as the market or one of the markets for this initiative. Our first question is, why Spain?
Sure. So we did a lot of research across a number of the different European countries. And what interested us in Spain is first, we learned that we have one of the highest followings as a club for those NFL fans in Spain. So
Mhm.
we felt like while it's still an immature NFL market, at least we felt like the club was at least recognized by those who are NFL fans and
Mhm.
candidly are fans of our team. And then the other thing we liked a lot is obviously the sports culture in Spain is well renowned,
Mhm.
and clearly it's a big part of the people of the country, and it's important to them. Very similar to like Chicago and how the Chicago Bears are part of the fabric of our community. So
Mhm.
we found that very interesting, and then also that just the family collaborative that's in Spain, right? That familial culture and the importance of family and gathering, and those types of, that being such an essential piece of the Spanish culture. And Canada, we're a family-owned team.
Mhm.
That's a very big part of who we are as a club. So we
Yeah.
thought that those are two really good foundational pieces to start with to try to grow and bring the game of football and hopefully the Chicago Bears brand of football to another location to grow our fan base and to explore new areas.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. We were talking with Henry Hodgson last Wednesday, and he told us that every club has his own freedom, some sort of freedom to approach the markets. So within the next 5 years.
That's right.
So we were wondering to know which is the first thing Chicago Bears are planning to do in Spain to approach that market.
Sure. So obviously we're all still a little bit, our hands are a little bit tied just given COVID, right? And
Yeah.
Mhm.
ultimately we want to be on site and to be able to interact with the community. That to me is going to be the essential piece to this all working, as us to be able to truly activate within the different markets, just like we do here in Chicago. But obviously that could be a little bit away. So initially it'll be very much through social and digital channels, where we'll be creating content that's specific to fans in Spain. That is, we have not kicked that portion of our program off yet. Obviously, it was just announced this past Wednesday, but that is the first piece on our roadmap, is to develop some channels that will be specific to Spain. The content will be in Spanish. And for us to be able to, again, connect to what's culturally relevant, to the people living there, right? Like there's a lot of things, obviously, that we do in America to reach our fan base in Chicago and the States, that don't necessarily translate to Spain very well. And we need to be very cognizant of that and make sure that we're developing unique content ultimately for the people in Spain. So that's that initial roadmap that we're looking to do. And then ultimately it'll be actually getting people and bodies over there so that we can truly interact with the community and become part of the community. That's important to us.
And as you have mentioned, we've through our social media, we've got many responses of fans in Spain, fans in general of the NFL, and also fans of the Chicago Bears that are, as you can imagine, very, very excited about this opportunity. I wanted to ask you, what are like the main things that you guys want to accomplish in the next few years? Like in broad terms, what are the main things the Chicago Bears want to accomplish in Spain?
So I think it'll boil down to us establishing infrastructure to be able to truly activate within the country. So we've talked about, it is about creating digital channels, right? So that we can have daily, right, access to our fan base over there. It's about connecting with authentic Spanish brands that are popular over there that we can work together with, right? To better introduce ourselves, like using Spanish brands to help us introduce ourselves to the Spanish culture, and then hopefully also help them back in the States, to be able to create that type of reciprocal relationship. And then ultimately, like I said, it's about getting into the community and establishing programs, whether that's youth football leagues or going into, and teaching children the game of American football and showing the value that it brings and the fun that it can bring. And then hopefully also there'll be opportunities with different media outlets, whether that's radio or television or online, so that people can watch and listen to our games regularly throughout the year. And again, all of that creates more of that connectivity. We want to meet people where they are. A lot of this will be introduction. So we're certainly looking at taking it slow. We understand that it's going to take time, but we're willing to do that. And I think it could be a lot of fun along the way.
Okay. We know it's a question of time, but you're talking about games, and we are all fans of the sport.
Sure.
And one of our dreams is to have to host an NFL game here in one of our stadiums in Spain. Do you think there's a possibility in a few years, in midterm, to have or to host a game here in Spain, in Real Madrid Stadium, for example?
So I think that would absolutely have to be looked at as a goal, for us to be able to, for all the different teams that are going to be, that have selected different international markets, the ultimate goal would have to be to hopefully play a game at some point in those different countries. Now, what that timetable looks like is that's yet to be seen. Obviously, we've been able to establish something really good in London, that we helped create back in 1986 when we started there. So, we've been fortunate. We've played in 5 different countries outside of America over the course of our time. So certainly adding a country like Spain would be appropriate in the course of time. So yeah, that should be all of our goal.
Yes, that's everybody is like, but people in Spain were thinking, does this mean that the Bears are coming next year to play in Madrid? And we're like, well, we need to take it a little bit slowly. That's not going to happen. Right. But in the near future, of course, that's our goal. And that's what we really, really want. And you've mentioned this before, but in terms of growing the sport of football in Spain, and you mentioned like maybe some youth camps, some these type of things, that's something that you guys are considering, correct? Because I think it'd be fantastic for the game in Spain.
Yeah, so we have a model that we feel really good about that we're doing here in the States as well. I mean, growing the game of football is not just something that we need to do internationally. That's something that we're very focused on domestically as well. So we've created a program where we send groups out to different schools throughout the entire year and run non-contact football style drills for kids, young to high school age, to where everybody can participate together. They can get an understanding of the game, learn the game a little better, but more importantly, have fun and engage with it, so that hopefully that piques their interest to want to either do a little more, watch a little more, learn a little more. And then we want to be able to give them those opportunities offline in different ways. But I think we all know, like, when you get your hands on something, it has a different impact on you, right? And it brings you there, and it makes you want to do it more. And we've found that here, and we think that certainly if, once we're able to establish those types of programs, there could be certain times of the year where we could transfer that type of program into Spain, meet kids, go to different schools, or to set up different camps to where we can go throughout the country and try to be able to connect people to not only American football, but the Chicago Bears brand of American football.
Okay, Scott. You were talking before that you're planning to do some content in Spanish for the social media and so on. We have also very, very good friends in Mexico, and they are a bit disappointed because the team didn't select their country. But you have there a huge fan base. Is there a possibility for them in the future to go to Mexico also as one of your targets?
So we are very fortunate to have a very large following in Mexico, and actually the city of Chicago has a lot of Mexican Americans in there. So the Mexican culture is a very big part of the Chicago culture, which we certainly are learning even more about and trying to tap into. That is not obviously that's not one of the international markets that we've tapped into. So our activation would be differently, but that certainly doesn't mean that we can't continue to, communicate and provide opportunities for them to follow, for our Mexican fans to follow us from abroad, not unlike many other countries. We're very fortunate, and we certainly don't take it for granted, being one of the charter franchises of the NFL. We've been here from the beginning. Our team founder helped found this league. His family is our ownership. His daughter is our owner. We take great pride in that. And again, that familial piece we think really will resonate in Spain because of that familial connection. But we're fortunate to have a global following, and we want to make sure that we can meet those people at where they are and give them opportunities to interact with us. But in terms of like that physical connectivity that we're looking for and branding and working with other partners, it's going to be Spain and London, at least for these first 5 years, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can build.
So we can tell our fans or friends from Mexico that don't be disappointed, because Chicago Bears are always thinking of them. So
absolutely,
that's important for them.
And you can tell them that there'll be more Spanish content coming. So
sure,
that'll be good.
That's okay.
Yeah, definitely. And as you can imagine, the Spanish-speaking community, we're very linked. We communicate, we do things together. In our website, for example, we have a few writers from Mexico. So it's something we're together because of the language. So once you guys do content in Spanish, it's something that's gonna be able to be used, like both for our country, but also for Mexico for sure.
Right.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about the team.
Sure.
Right now, we think that the Bears have found the quarterback of the future this year in Justin Fields. It's such an exciting player. One of the most exciting prospects or new quarterbacks in the league. How excited is the fan base in Chicago with Justin?
Justin has absolutely ignited the fan base in Chicago. Certainly his track record coming in as an elite quarterback at Ohio State, playing in big-time college football games, and his pedigree. And that showed immediately when he walked through our doors. A very humble, hardworking player who continues to showcase his abilities now on Sundays. And this week, it'll be Monday night.
Monday.
Right? for us. But we're very excited about what the future holds, not just the long-term future, but the immediate future for Justin and what he's going to mean to our football team.
Okay. I think you gotta leave. It's almost time. You're a busy schedule there. And thank you very much for being here, for joining us and explain a bit a first taste of what are the plans of the Chicago Bears here in Spain. And we're very, very happy to have you on board, and and anything you need, we're here to help you. Okay.
Well,
anything you need. Okay.
I appreciate Sergi, Pablo. I appreciate your guys' time for me this morning, right? For you guys this evening.
Yes.
But yeah, we certainly would love to continue our conversation with you too. You guys obviously can help us as well based on educating us on what works. And I look forward to talking with you further moving forward.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.